Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. I figured I'd come back and do another one of these dev commentary videos since they're kind of fun to make, and I mean this is in Zone A. I figure if you're watching this, you're probably here for one of two things. A, you just wanted to hear more about the tower and you saw that I made a dev commentary, in which case, go you. And the other option is that you are playing this tower in Zone 8 and you're stuck in some place or other and you want help getting through the tower. In which case, I also hope this will be helpful for you, so I'll try to show you some of the things that I do to make this a little bit easier. Yeah, Giant Wedge Tower. This button, because I know a lot of J2 players hate lyrical songs, gives it the option to turn it on, but by default it's off, so people can't complain to me. I turn it on, of course, because the lyrical song is way better. Little hit parts. What would the tower be without those? Nothing, that is what would be. It would be nothing. I cannot talk today. I apologize also for my mic. I know I have a horrible mic. Okay, so these lodges. If you've seen lodges before in towers, normally what you want to do is jump into the gap and turn yourself sideways, which is what you want to do here too, but what all you want to do is hold either A or D while you're in the gap. I suggest holding A. I find it to be easier, and it helps a lot later in the tower when you have to flip and lodge at the same time. But, you know, either way works. Whatever floats your boat, so to speak. You don't have to hold W, though. That's the important part. These just launch you. So the name of the mountain in this tower, Mount Kitagawa. A lot of people give me crap for that name. They're like, oh, you just took some random Japanese word and named the mountain after that. It's not even grammatically correct. Well, you're right. I did not just take some random Japanese word to make it the mountain name. It is a character from Persona 5. Like everything in this tower is a Persona. If there's something in this tower that doesn't have an explanation, and you're wondering why it's there, it's probably a Persona reference of some sort. Because I'm like that. Ooh, gotta fix that. The sled sections, I didn't really have any inspiration for those. I just kind of thought, like, you know, what if I added like a sledding section to the tower? That'd be kind of cool. Flip jumps. A lot of people have trouble with these. It's really... What helps is if you're holding a key before you flip. Like in this case, you want to hold W and then just press F twice. Later on, there will be wraps with flips in them, and I'll explain to you again once we get there. But you'll want to be holding just some sort of key before you flip and jump to make sure you have the momentum, and so you're not trying to like awkwardly change directions in midair. Here's the first net you get. If you fall here, you'll land here. You can just trampoline, get right back up. I feel like when I did the TODI commentary, it was easier for me to like talk about the tower because the gameplay is a little simpler. But here, I feel like I have to constantly talk about, like here, same thing. Flip, W, jump all at the same time, you'll be fine. I just slowed the spinner down quite a bit. It used to be, both spinners used to be way faster, and it was like really hard to time. But I nerfed it because I know you all suck at flips, so I sympathize with your plight. Here, you want to flip early here, because what happens when you flip is it takes you to the opposite side of the part. So the earlier you flip here, the closer you'll be to the right, and the closer to the left you'll end up. So like, yeah. If you flip right away, you'll just land right on the truss and you are good. Here, obviously, you can get a button. Jump as far in as possible before you lodge, and this time you're super lenient. Here's the second sled part. Get the vine. And these all both start moving at the same time. Just jump back and forth. I don't even like... You have a lot of speed, so just don't overestimate the jumps, I should say. They're very short. Little squeeze action there. Lodge walks. I wish I had more to say to you. This is all pretty basic gameplay. I was kind of running out of ideas when I made this part. Oh shoot! Hang on, I'll just cut till when I get back up there. Hey, sorry about that. I am back. Little basic truss flick here. You're just going around this spinner. I was kind of running out of ideas when I got to this point. I think I said that before, but then I cut, so I forgot. Here's the second real net of the tower. Amagi Resort, which is a Persona 4 reference in case you didn't guess that one on your own. This outside, I wasn't sure whether to net it for the longest time. It originally wasn't going to be this long, but once I started making it, I was like, wow, this gameplay is just way too hard. If I'm actually going to make it go all the way around the tower, I probably need to net it. So it's netted. You're welcome. Here, you just jump in, delodge, lodge again. You'll still fall a little bit once you relodge, so I try to do it earlier rather than later. Here, just do what the sign says, flip and jump at the same time. You'll land it. A little bit of if you look at a lot of my purism, you can tell it's kind of like TOTV inspired, sort of. I wouldn't say it's as good as TOTV, but it's like it has a like wrap, squeeze, that kind of structure. A lot of wedges. Here you go. My intent with a lot of these lodge walks, like the reason they're interesting is you have to jump out of them facing forwards. So you can make a lot of interesting jumps using those. Here's your first checkpoint on the outside. If you fall, you'll get brought back here. I don't know why I made a speed section here. I felt inspired. Just make like a giant speed section. Okay. Yeah, it tells you to hold space. That's what you want to do. You want to just jump onto the front of the truss and hold space like that. Just trust it. It's smoother and easier than it looks. You don't have to like hold W or anything weird like that. Just one people have trouble with. You gotta make sure once you bounce off the truss, you start moving left again, and then you gotta go because the time is really short. So like, bam, immediately switch to the A key, and just go to the line. You're good. I felt like making a giant jump here for whatever reason. And here's the last checkpoint. So once you're here, you won't fall back to either of the first two. I'm sorry if my voice is kind of like monotone right now. I'm dealing with horrible spring allergies right now, but I'm doing my best. Oh, I should have explained that. Yeah. This is the first flip wrap of the tower, really. If you saw what I did there, you want to kind of get next to the wall and hold the A key before you press F and jump, so you're already moving to the left, and then you can just wrap and flip again. I put that over a net so you can get used to it, because later on there's some jumps like that that aren't netted, so if you're not, make sure you're comfortable with that jump before you move on. Here you'll just press A and space at the same time, you'll miss the pole, flip, jump. And you want to be facing the target, because if you don't for some reason, it just flings you off into like Timbuktu over there. And you gotta be facing the target. Here we are. This entire section was just made because I wanted an excuse to use Mori Acrophobia. Said lightly. That's a Breaking Bad reference for all the for all those who happen to know. I know Seabass would know if he's watching this. Hello, Seabass. This entire cave section, in case you didn't guess from the song, is based off of the oops. There we go. It's based off of the old ruins, the World 1 final level in Super Paper Mario. Because I thought, you know what? That whole, like, aesthetic is just really cool. There you want to just flip and turn to the left really sharply. So I'll make that. I feel like I did pretty well. Like, I like the atmosphere of this part. Oh boy. People hate this. It's just, you just go forward and spam the F key. Make sure you have shift log on. I posted a video of that in the Ato server, and some guy was like, "Holy crap! What are you doing? This gameplay sucks!" I was like, "Whoa, okay." So I nerfed the timer, and from then on, you'll notice I started using flips a little bit less, because people were complaining that I used too many flips. I still use them all quite a bit, because I like them. But, man, people got mad at me for that one. So this requires no explanation. If you know, you know. But yeah, as soon as you hit this, the wall goes down, you get some speed, and you can go ahead and just run away. You want to hold W here. This thing you used to have to flick off of until I realized how inconsistent it was, so you can just glide over here. And then you're chilling. Just yet again, like, when you play Super Paper Mario World 1, there's this part of the old ruins where like the wall opens up and these big spiky balls start rolling after you, and they fill up the pit that you need to progress. And so I figured I'd steal that idea. Here we go, here's the first punishing part. This song used to be a Fractale Battle for Super Paper Mario when I changed it, because I think Kaloi wanted me to, I don't know. Gaps like these I use a lot. It's just about setup. Like, you want to have your character facing backwards out of the gap so you can wrap out quickly and turn. Not that bad. Jump down here, make sure you can time that well. And here you just want to wrap in and turn really fast. And just W in space to flick off that ladder. Don't try to flick with your mouse because you'll probably fall off and that would be very sad. Here you want to turn early. Turn way earlier than you feel like you would. Because if you turn too late, you're going to hit the cylinder and you'll get pushed out and you're dead. You got to turn early there. This is way more lenient than it looks. Just go for the gap. I stole this from Coact. Just go in first person, lodge. You're good. Yeah, that jump, I've had to nerf this jump like 50 times. You know what? I think I took that jump from like some random TCT tower by Pret. Where it's like, you know, it's a cool trust flick jump. Well, I mean, there's probably jumps like that in like 50 different towers. I don't know why it was that tower specifically. Here you want to set this on backwards so you can go ahead and wrap out like that. Yes, I am playing this legit. I'm cool like that. Here, notice there's a truss on the other side of this pole. You want to hit the button, wrap around to the truss, and just bounce off. That also used to be... I wanted to make it so you had to like bounce off the truss, but I didn't want to use a disappearing truss, so it was like the timer was really short and it was really dumb. I'm glad I changed it. Did I not color this? No, it's okay. That was scary. Yeah, this is just like regular wraparounds. This I find easier in first person because you can just set it up backwards. This jump used to give me a lot of trouble, which is funny because I made the tower. I could have just nerfed it, but someone told me that you could just do it like that, and it makes it easier. That's the way I suggest doing it. Here you can either flick or jump off. I suggest jumping, and you'll just be ready to turn once you get through that gap. There's your basic wiggle wrap. And here you are. Now you're basically set until floor 9. You could, in theory, fail the waterfall, but the waterfall is really easy. Here you just hold space. Yeah, you can do what I did there. I don't think it's that hard to figure out. Corneria, great song. This is one of the songs, I don't think I ever changed this song. Like, I think I was going to use this song from day 1 when I was in this tower, because I just thought it fit really well. This jump, what I like to do is set it up backwards like this, and then jump forward without shift lock. Because there's a jump on floor 9 like that that's similar, and I like doing it for both. This jump, people hate for whatever reason. I really don't think it's that hard. You jump in the lodge, you can flip and then turn. Just be ready to turn after you flip. Keep holding the A key. Don't ever get rid of it. Just flip, turn, and you'll be good. It's really not that hard. Here, you just flip in midair. Be ready for that. You can turn your camera sideways there, because I think that might help a little bit. Just remember you only flipped once. Here's a crazy momentum jump. Yeah, this section, I was like... I don't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like messing with things down near the front of the tower, and I was like, what happens if I put like speed? What happens if I have you climb off a truss with speed? And then that happens, so I was like, oh, that's cool. I should make a whole section based off of that. It's not that hard. I could have done more with this. I could have given you more speed and have it, like, the launching effect is more noticeable the more speed you have. So if anyone feels like stealing this from me and making another truss speed section, please feel free. I like this view. Cool lighting. Yeah, here we go. Here's your wall jump section. It's, I know you can cheese this. People will show me you can just climb one of the trusses and you can make it to the top. But it's cooler if you hold space and go back and forth. It's just satisfying. I like it. It's netted anyway. Like, why would I care if you cheese a netted section? Here you go. Here, you want to jump at the wall and then turn your camera. Don't try to aim for the truss right away because it's a little sketchy. Here you can just jump to the line. Here's this giant wrap. It might actually help to hug the cylinder because it, like, holds you up in the air. It makes the wrap a little less smooth, but if you hug the cylinder, it'll give you the, like, cylinder boost effect and you'll get held up. I'll make that a little bit easier. There was originally going to be a third sled section here. Both, I kind of didn't want to make it. Also, like, people were already complaining the tower is just too big. It's going to be too hard to fit in a zone. And I thought if I added another sled section, it would just make it 10 times harder. So, I ended up not doing it. I actually ended up adding the sled section I was going to make to my newest tower. But that's another video for another time. Here, this wrap looks scary, but you just jump out and then just, you know, turn your camera. If you're playing a Rem, you can do a jump like that. There's another checkpoint down there. If you fall, yet again, just bounce up here and you're good. If you fail that jump, the like wiggle wrap jump, you get sent back here and you have to redo the entire outside, so I was just not doing that. That would be very sad for you. Here you just... oh, don't do that. I wanted to make like a geometry dash straight fly type thing. It didn't really end up happening, but it's still kind of a cool section. You just want to keep yourself at roughly the same height so you don't hit the teleporters, and you're good. Yeah, there are two ways you could do this. I've seen people just flick around the pole. The intended way is that you climb down a little bit and you... oh, come on, come on. There we go. You just bounce off the wall. It's kind of cool. But you can also just flick. Maybe that's easier. I don't know. Here's some basic purism, basic wraps. Here's a... this is what I was talking about before. Like, you have to jump out of this forwards, so to get in the gap, you gotta immediately turn on shift block and wrap. I thought that was kind of a cool jump. I like making tech jumps like that, where you gotta play around with shift lock. You see a lot of those on floor 9, where you have to like turn on shift lock, turn it off. This is these are actually the lyrics to the floor 10 song. If you use the lyrical version, you'll hear them. And I sure wonder what's gonna happen when I try to cross this bridge. Oh no! This bridge used to be way cooler. Like the bridge segments were King Collide true, so it was a way cooler effect. But what one guy complained, he was like, Zach, the bridge flung me. It's not a legit run. So I had to make the King Collide false. I'm sorry. Blame that one guy. I think it was Extra Zany actually, who got flung by the bridge, and I was like, oh, I guess I should fix that. If you fall here, you die, but it's super easy. You can just jump at the bottom of the rocks here. Here is the second cave section. I made this cool little design here. Actually, someone told me to make this, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because you'd kill me if I did. It's been, like, exiled since then. I think I'm not supposed to say their name anymore. So this whole section is based off of Okumura's Palace, this guy here, from, yet again, Persona 5. There was like a section in that game where you're in like a spaceport and you have to hit these buttons to make airlocks open and close. It's literally like, I copied the structure exactly. This is literally the exact same structure as it is in Okumura's Palace. But, like, people regularly say that's like one of the hardest and dumbest parts of the game. So I was like, oh, what if I make Jato do that? Those who know that this is based on Slipsand, I think it's called Slipsand Galaxy from Mario Galaxy 2. There was this slide towards the end of the galaxy where you had to like dodge these things rolling at you from the top, and it's pretty hard actually. So it was one of the harder parts of the game. Here's your generic premonition of doom. You're climbing up to the top and get all these edgy messages up here. But if you're playing this tower and you've failed the final, like the top floor 9 a bunch of times and you don't want to read all the dialogue again, what you can do is just go to the side of the truss and hold space to climb it a lot faster. I've seen people do that. Here's floor 9. The scary floor, which I really like. I tried to make this floor not hard. I don't think it's hard, but it may just be that I've played it too many times. Here, what I was talking about before, you want to jump out of here, turn on shift lock, turn it off really fast to fit through that gap. Or you can, like, I've seen people like turn the camera and do all this stuff, but I think it's just easier to do that. Here you just flick around, nothing too hard. Get another regular flick. Okay, here we go. This wrap Fun fact, these flips used to be far further apart, and the elevator wasn't there, and this jump was still possible. I have nerfed it so many times. If you still think this is hard, you know what, screw you. Like, I don't know what more I could do. But, anyways, to make this jump not hard, hold D in the corner, F in space, F again. You have so much time for that second flip, I can't. I can't with you people. You suck. You suck at the game. Get better. Get better so I can make harder towers. Alright, these are... I can't really talk about these jumps that much. This is another situation where holding space and W is going to help you, but if you don't want to do that, in theory you could just hold the D key and turn, even though it's a little bit harder. What I like to do is zoom way out for this jump so I can see where I'm going. You'll just want to put like a normal head hitter, and you're good. I'm sorry, I wish I could have talked more about the tower, but again, when like the tower is shorter and the gameplay is more compact than it was with TODI, I feel like I have less time to talk about the actual like making of the tower, and it's more of like helping you with the gameplay. So I have to focus more because it's harder. There you go. I should have talked about that. I don't know if I could have though. Like, just do what I did. Go into first person, hold the A key or the D key, and just... If you're holding the D key, what I would suggest you do is use your left hand. I don't know, you can figure it out. But just make sure you have a hand free to press the F key while you're lodging. And remember, you don't have to hold W, so that should help. You only have to use one hand to hold the D key or the A key, and the other hand is to press the F key. And you're good. This is just a regular... Make sure you go as far as you can on the button before you wrap. This is... There's a number of ways you can do this jump, and it's not that hard. You shouldn't fail it. Here, you just hold the D key. Don't hold W until the end. Only hold W at the very end. Here, you can just flick. Do it like a normal flick, but you don't jump. Here, you want to hold the D key and then turn. Once again, you hold the D key and then hold the W key. I should probably stop. I should get like a keyboard overlay. I mean, I don't record videos often, but I feel like it would help if I like showed what I did. Here, you want to hit the button and then just hold the W. Hold W. Never let go of W the whole time. It's the only key you're holding, and you just flick your camera back and forth to go all across the truss. This is easy. Like, I don't know how much better. Like, people always tell me this is like the hardest section of the tower. It's netted. You can't fail it. If you mess up, you just flip back into the center and flip again. I don't know how you. Whatever. Here, I don't even use my mouse for this. I just jump to the middle. I feel like it's almost harder to try to wrap and then turn. Like, the gaps are big enough that you can just face forwards the whole time, so it's not that hard. Here, you just jump in, press F twice, you're good. Sorry, there was some salesperson in my house. I had to tell them to go away. Okay, so just like before, you set this up backwards, like that. Turn a little bit off the edge, and then you just press W and then space. It's a lot easier than it looks, and it allows you to aim for the truss before you even jump, so you don't have to deal with like landing on this at the last minute. And there you go. At this point, you basically won. The final stretch is really easy. I've seen some people fail it, but you have to like choke to mess it up. This is just your usual hold space flip. This final floor, I just wanted an excuse to use this song, honestly. It's so good. So the song for this floor was originally going to be Eschatos Point of No Return, because I was like, oh, that's funny, it's the tower name, ha ha ha. But I did not end up doing that because the song is just way better. Okay, this a lot of people have trouble with this. This for some people is probably the hardest jump in the tower, but it's over a net, at least. You just turn it here, let go of the... Ooh. Oh, even I'm failing it. I'm not gonna no-clip, hang on. Okay, here we go. So, yeah. All you want to do is just let go of the D key when you're in the gap and then press it right away again after that. Actually, you can let go of it a little bit before you hit the gap, because my mistake last time was letting go too late, and I was already, like, flying out into the abyss. So, hold the key until you get to the gap, let go of it in the gap, and then press it again once you get to the next slot. You don't have to turn for some reason. It's just not a thing you could do. This you want to just set up like that. Here is, you get this little Bob Marley quote here. I don't know why I added that. I was just like, Well, I need to indicate that there's a dance clip somehow, because I haven't been in it before in the tower. So I was like, you know what? Bob Marley. You just jump here, E-dance 2, jump, and then turn off shift lock. You don't even turn your camera. 10 stutter up. Easy. We added a, why is the font changing? What? Anyway, this is, once TONR and TOAE both got confirmed for Zone 8, Cole and I are pretty good friends, and we, like, built these towers together, kind of. So we figured we'd add a little secret handshake. This says I am thou. And then at the end of TOAE, there's a sign that says thou art I. So if you play either of the towers in Zone A, you'll notice that. I guess it's not really secret, because, I mean, it's right there in the open, but... Here's your G cutscene. Cutscene's just here so this song can come in. Unactivated music zones are a beautiful thing. I'm so glad I found them. Oh yeah, point of no return. Look at my funny joke, guys. It's the tower name. No way. Here we go. This timer used to be super lenient. I nerfed about 40 seconds off the timer. It's still really lenient. So, just don't fall. You'll be fine. The gameplay is really, really simple. The first challenge is by far the longest of the three, so if you're doing poorly on this one, you might get a little scared that you're not going to have time. But the next two are way shorter, so don't worry too much. Especially this one. Don't get hit by that thing, by the way, when you're jumping down. Here, yet again, W in space. Or that'll. Don't do that. W in space should work. There we go. People say I don't do this song justice, like the outside's not long enough. It's already at the chorus, and I'm only at the third challenge. Like, shut up. Here you go, W in space again. I do that a lot. I should probably do that less with my flicks. Regular flick. Here you just want to jump and turn, you'll be good. Do that flip facing that way so you don't have to turn your camera. And once you're here, the timer is over, and it doesn't matter anymore, so you can take your time at this last section. Because this is unnetted. If you fail it, you get a 3-minute and 33-second long cutscene with Amori My Time playing in the background, so at least if you mess up the final stretch, there's a bit of a reward, I suppose. Yeah, this is the last jump. I thought it would be cool if I added the Tokyo Heights flick. It's the last jump. And then, this is really, you don't even have to flick, like you could just jump off in the Land of Distrust. You shouldn't fail that. Yay! We did it. Look, there's a flag and everything. It's so cool. We beat it. Majestic Lucky, good friend of mine, likes to do a momentum jump off this X-Pusher into the helicopter, and he was like, dude, it's so easy. It's like, it's so satisfying. I did it one time and I fell off the tower. I lost my run trying to do the Lucky momentum jump. I do not suggest doing it. And here's the win room. It was Christmas time when I finished this tower, like end of November, so I thought I'd make a little Christmassy themed win room, but I think it still fits anyway. I mean, you got like a snowy mountain tower, but I suppose you can call this the Christmas tower. Special thanks, blah 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 blah. I ain't reading all that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't talk as much about the tower this time. I feel like there was just more in terms of gameplay I needed to focus on, but I hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and I hope if you're playing this tower in Zone 8, you enjoy the tower itself. And I appreciate you supporting my stuff if you're the kind of person who does that. Thank you.